Jacob, dinner.
Oh, thank God. I thought I was gonna suffocate under all that crap. Neat. Hello everyone and welcome to Review Shark. So, I've been gone a while. Sorry about that. Long story short, lots of moving, lots of new job, lots of garbage, lots of faking my death in a nuclear blast, etc. There was supposed to be a new episode out, but, well, it was on Spiritfarer, and truth be told, I didn't really care for it that much. I had quite a few problems with it, especially with how its narrative didn't tie well into its gameplay. I wanted my criticisms to be concise and constructive, less jokes, more talky theory thing, and I hated it. Like, just despised it. I tried reworking it multiple times to get it to a point I was happy with, but that didn't work out, and with everything else going on, I kinda burned out. Hard. So I decided to take a break until I could think of something fun. And then I played Unpacking. Unpacking is exactly what it says on the cover. You unpack things, and then you place them. It's a game where you help a character unpack her things across a number of years and new places. Unpack their clothes, their royalty-free Nintendo consoles, their expensive printer, their fursuit, etc. It's a pretty chill experience and captures one of the few upsides of moving into a new place. Getting to design and decorate to your heart's content. Setting up your figures, making neat and tidy displays. It's aiming to scratch a very specific itch, and it nails it with flying colors. It's really satisfying when you crack the last of the boxes and see all your efforts come together. Having moved twice in less than 6 months, it captured that sensation shockingly well. You're not moving the actual furniture around, however, just the smaller nicks and knacks that this character has in order to preserve the challenge. What helps this out especially is the sound design. There's tons of little sounds for moving things around on different surfaces that gives it a genuinely immersive feel. Lots of little satisfying clicks and clacks to be had. It gives everything a real sense of weight and provides the game with a pretty cozy atmosphere. Not to mention how interactive the environments and objects can be, which really helps lend a sense of this being a real space. Plus, when you're done arranging a room, you can use the game's playback feature to watch your entire session at a time-lapse replay. It is probably one of the most satisfying things I have ever seen in my life. And the rapid clicks and taps as the various dioramas take shape is easily the closest I've ever come to achieving Zen. If that was all Unpacking was, I'd be pretty happy, but I probably wouldn't have been quite as inspired as I was. No, what really got me was how well Unpacking tells its story without any words at all. It's essentially environmental storytelling, the game. It's a series of dioramas you're constructing with a very loose but specific set of rules and objects that all come together to tell this character's story. And full disclosure, I love good environmental storytelling. It's so much fun to see how much information you can convey to the audience without a single word being spoken. Once, when I was designing a town for a tabletop campaign, I decided to go all out and make it feel like a believable space. Right down to the smallest objects or little scenarios for the players to find. I had a great time designing it and just filling out the space around the characters that inhabited them, with the idea that my players would stop and look a lot of this over to better understand the town. They didn't. Unpacking manages to capture that feeling, without the disappointment, perfectly. It even encourages it as well. It wants you to be playful with the things you're arranging. Space is at a premium, so you do need to think about where things should go in order to complete the room. But even so, unless you're doing things like putting pots of pans in the bathroom, you've got quite a lot of freedom to lay these rooms out how you want to. It's even further encouraged through the stickers you can collect. Performing certain actions or putting certain objects together gets you stickers to use in the game's prerequisite photo mode. Because this is current year, and if your game doesn't have a photo mode, it might as well go in the trash. But more than just how these things are arranged, it's the items themselves that help paint a picture of this character and their tastes. There's very little that's directly told to you, just a few vague blurbs at the end of every level. It's up to you to really glean the story from the events. It's a pretty simple story, but there's a surprising amount of nuance just from watching this character evolve over time. What did they keep across the years? What did they get rid of? How did their tastes evolve based on the things they've gone through? What importance can even the most insignificant of possessions have? The first two levels are pretty simple. First level is just her room in her childhood home. Next is her college dorm, where the game introduces the concept of multiple rooms to set up. Pretty typical gameplay ramp up. The next two levels, though, embody the game's ability to tell its story perfectly and are what inspired this episode, so I'm just gonna gush about them now. Levels 3 and 4 are probably my favorite levels in almost any game I've played for a while now, just from how perfectly it tells its story through the gameplay alone. The third level is where it introduces the concept of multiple people in the home. The character has moved in with two of her friends in a small apartment, and you have to find a way to fit in. She has her own room for a computer and such, but that doesn't cover everything. It's pretty daunting at first, but you soon realize just how much open space there is for her things. The roommates all have their stuff neatly spaced to allow her room to move in, and it immediately gives you the feeling that she fits in. Literally. They've already done the work for you, so you don't have to move their stuff around since there's no real need to. And also it'd be kinda dickish. On the surface, it's a good way to ease players into this mindset, that they don't always have full control of the environment, but it also establishes just how welcome she is here. Oh, you need some room for your cute as hell chicken plushies? Sure, we've already made you some space. Here you go. You're free to move and experiment to create a mesh of their three unique styles. It's a strange, chaotic mixture of designs and sensibilities, and a few dirty dishes I wish I could clean up. This is reinforced further in the next level where the character moves in with her boyfriend. It's essentially designed as the opposite of the last, a much smaller level with much less room to maneuver where real estate is at a premium. But this time you can actually move and rearrange the boyfriend's things. On the surface, it's a great way of establishing their relationship, their dedication to creating a space the two of them truly share, and it's a fun puzzle to boot. It manages to capture that initial excitement of moving in with your partner perfectly. Oh, hey, I could put my stuff here so it perfectly complements his things. So you're having fun creating a diorama, and then you pull out her art degree. In the last level you just hung it on the wall in her bedroom, no biggie, but this time you realize there's no space on the walls. Anywhere. Bedroom's taken up by the window and closet, kitchen has the windows and cabinets, and the bathroom is... Well, I don't know about you, but I don't like to be haunted by my failures every time I need to do my business. So, the only viable place is a living room, but the walls are taken up by the boyfriend's guitar and music posters. Doesn't seem like that big a deal, there's still plenty of space. I'll just rearrange them a bit, and you can't move them. At all. Out of everything else he owns, these are the only things you are not allowed to touch. Without saying a single word, the game has just perfectly established the relationship these two characters really have. The only thing she has to hang on the wall, the most important document to her, and she just can't hang it up anywhere. There's actually only one place you can put it, but I won't spoil that here. It's great. It then starts to dawn on you just how she's had to make room for herself this whole level. There was no space made, no consideration taken for what she may need. Any open space feels more incidental than purposeful. Even the general style and design of the apartment is made to clash with her things. All of this contributes to the idea that this is a space she doesn't belong in. You're essentially being made to feel like an invader, coming into a completed space and forcing yourself to fit in. Also worth noting, this is the only level without a dedicated workspace, so there's no room for her art supplies or laptop. They just go on her nightstand. This level is so perfect I want to frame it and put on my wall, which I actually have room for. It's a type of visual and gameplay storytelling I wish more games could attain. It's so simple a notion to convey, but it's done expertly through how the game's built up its mechanics. It's an emotional gut punch that's perfectly delivered. The rest of the game from there is still good, and there's a really nice play on its mechanics later, but these two levels are the most notable to me. Especially with how you can tell the character reevaluates her life afterward and changes up what items she takes with her. It's a simple concept that nails its execution perfectly. I can't really think of many things to complain about. It's only a few hours long, but it's a perfect length to me. Plus it's got a free play mode and the aforementioned camera feature to play with, so there's a lot of replay value. Honestly, the only thing that didn't work too well for me was the soundtrack. It's not bad, it's just fine. The ending song in particular is really trying to nail a certain emotional beat, but it just kind of falls flat to me. All in all, I really enjoyed my time with Unpacking. It was a perfect pick-me-up game I needed to pull me out of my funk. I could have made this episode 30 minutes or longer just breaking down each level's theme, but if I go past 15 pages, the productivity assassin I hired will have to do their job. That's also what I like to focus on in the future. Stuff that tickles the obsession parts of my brain. I mean, hell, I wanted to make an episode on just 2 modes from Super Metroid that I loved. I'm just gonna have fun with things I like. Unless it's so ridiculously bad that it's funny to rip apart. So, yeah, look forward to that. Tune in next time when
Do you see that? I told you, he keeps reviewing things, even when I'm not here trying to sleep.
Yeah, uh-huh. That sounds like something the kid with a 4 out of 10 bedroom would say.
I'll go get the package.
Wait, why'd you keep the pack? Guess who's off the clearance aisle now, losers? Huh, that's new.